Welcome everybody to a bonus episode of BioShock Remastered. I didn't even tell Cam, my editor, I was going to be doing this. I did plan on it though. So, what this is, now that we've beaten the game, and if you are just joining now, feel free to jump into the playlist on the right and you can see the full play that I did over the last couple weeks. Oop, there goes the plane again. What they did put in this game, I believe, I'm not going to make the claim, but I believe was inspired by the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Where in that game, if you're not familiar, there is a museum level that you can play where you can go in and there are living versions. It's like a night at the museum sort of situation. You can visit exhibits of all the different levels, the different vehicles. There's glass cases in the middle that, or tables, something like that, that have all the weapons throughout the game. You can press a button to make them all go rogue and fight you, whatever, da 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 da. But that's in the original MW2 as a level, and they kind of did that in this. You can walk a museum based on the world of the game. I want to walk this together with you. I think it's so cool. And if you've watched my full series and you're still not sold on the game, this is my last ditch effort to make you at least have an appreciation for the art that is this game and everything that went into it. Keep in mind what you remember characters looking like and everything has changed over time. So yeah. Welcome to the Museum of Orphaned Concepts, a guided tour of, I love that by the way, of orphaned concepts, things that they've let go that were original ideas. Tour of ideas that irrational games discarded or reworked heavily during the making of the original BioShock. So if you look at this is one of the big daddies that didn't make it into the game. This is another version of it with a weapon. I don't know if that's like a double grenade launcher or what it is, but there's the original concept art in the back. Like, this is so cool, dude. Putting this in a game is so cool. And again, I wanted to get it out there right up front that probably inspired by when Call of Duty did it in the early 2000s or mid 2000s. But so this is a gatherer. Now, I believe, and this will probably fuck some people up, I believe before there were Little Sisters, there were gatherers. I think that was a change they made to give you more of an attachment to them, to feel for them more, to have a desire to save them, to see them with a human side, have a little bit of compassion. Prior, they kind of resembled like a slug or a head crab from Half-Life. This is what used to gather at them, and then that was a change they made later on. We're going to keep walking this together. This is so much fun. You ready for this? So, ranged aggressor, also known as Stitchy. The first splicer that was ever created was Stitchy, used in the early concept demos to sort of demonstrate the hit reactions and whatnot. Took us that long to realize he wasn't a good model, says lead artist Sean Robertson. This is probably the worst abortion that Irrational has ever made. Wow, the worst abortion that Rapture has ever made. Pre-Yamhand. Before solidifying the fiction around Adam, experimented with the idea of being external, injected substance that you can see playing around. So this is so cool. This is so cool. I love the concept art that we get. It's just so fun. So, this is what some of the enemies might have looked like. This, spoiler alert, I'm going to give a huge spoiler alert. This is very similar to the Big Daddy that you play as in the second game. And yes, you heard me right if that you're listening. In the second BioShock, you are the Big Daddy. Not like the end of BioShock 1 where you put on the suit and trick the Little Sisters so you can save them. In the second BioShock, you straight up are a Big Daddy. You're the missing link model. This character is essentially the missing link between the grotesque early designs of the human splicers that appeared in BioShock. It's the last bad model before they came up with what eventually became the splicers. Why don't we use humans instead? I always thought of these as Scooby-Doo monsters because they were too human. See, it's too human to invoke empathy, which is what I said about the Little Sisters. You can't, I don't want to say you can't feel for something that's inhuman, but you get the point they're trying to make there. It's just, I love, the mind of an artist is such a beautiful thing. One thing you need to know about me is anytime I get to meet an artist or have a conversation with an artist, whether that's somebody who defines themselves as an artist or somebody who just has artistic qualities about them It's such a beautiful thing. I love the chance to communicate with a person like that and really get in the mind of somebody whose core value is to create and to imagine. It's literally one of the joys of life to me. You want to talk about a simple pleasure. Speaking to the mind of an artist, to me. Created around the same time as Stitchy and the Grenadier, the Splicer was dubbed the Hooker because of her weapon of choice. The concept evolved into the Spider Slicers, which would be the ones that are climbing on the ceiling that I'm sure that Cam loved. That's what she told me. Decided the Spider models could fill the behavior role, and the Hooker model later became the Baby June Splicer. Baby Jane. Baby Jane. One of those. Look at that, man. Damn, Splicer, you're packing. And then this big old behemoth over here, whose pack doesn't seem to be rendered. I wonder if that's on purpose. Grenadier Splicer, the Gray 11 Splicer, was an early Grenadier from the same period development as Stitchy and the Hooker. He was a guy who spliced to carry around giant grenades and throw them at you, says the lead artist. The model was built in texture but never animated. So he's T-posing right now. That's fine. And obviously that the Big Daddies were built around the idea of an actual, a diver. Big Daddies, originally called the Protectors, were envisioned as dive-suited construction workers. That, by the way, is what they are. I just want to be clear. They're there to protect the little sisters like security, but they are also the maintenance people of Rapture. If you've noticed, there are times where I'll look out the window when I'm playing the series, and they will be doing construction on the tubing. They might be fixing a building. That's a lot of where their rivet guns come from. They're not just guns. They're meant for putting rivets into things. Like, it's kind of a double situation there. From left to right are early concepts for the melee, ranged, and slow projectile protectors. Like, imagine coming across that, or doing that last scene where you have to protect them, or protect the little sister as she's doing the 3 harvests. Would you have any empathy if you're protecting one of these things? Hanging sea life, not as much. There's a concept as an Easter egg for Observant Museum. These sea creatures can be seen swimming past the player's view during the Bathysphere ride down to Rapture and BioShock's opening sequence. There's a few other times that they do show up, but yeah. And one thing I will say, this is a fun fact that's not mentioned here, because obviously this is all about the first game. BioShock 1, created by Ken Levine and Irrational Games. BioShock 2, BioShock 2, Irrational Games. I don't want to get the facts wrong. I don't know if they didn't want to make a BioShock 2 yet, or if they thought it wasn't ready, or what it is. I think that just at the time they weren't sure what the game would look like, and they weren't ready to commit to that project. That's what I think. Look it up to find out for sure. What I do know is that 2K Games decided, no, we're going to move through, or we need to, at least in my belief, they said that we need to move forward and make a game. Like, this game did well, there's popularity, we can't just, we have to strike while the iron is hot. At least is my understanding of it. That was a walk through the museum, and I really, really hope that you enjoyed that as much as I do. It's not a huge museum, it's not as big as the COD one, but I put a lot of money on the fact that it was inspired by the MW2 museum, which, if you haven't played that, go ahead and play it. It's so fun. And there's actually, I think, an achievement for fighting off every single enemy in the museum, which is just a matter of get yourself a sniper and an LMG and camp somewhere until you hit the juggernauts. Then it's a whole damn thing. But it's really fun. So if you enjoyed that, absolutely leave a like. Feel free to subscribe. YouTube.com/CodewallGaming for all of our VODs. We have 13 years worth of content for you to check out. Everything from gameplay guides, achievement guides, walkthroughs, full plays, scripted content. We have multiple series. We have series where we go up against each other in versus matches. We have rage quits, which is something I'm going to talk to Cam about. I might want to bring back. I have some really good rage quits. And Cam, if you're hearing this, if you go to CodeWall and type in rage quit, I think I've got 10 of them. I really enjoyed doing. Obviously a little bit more juvenile in nature back then. Twitch.tv/Chase if you want to see any of our videos we're doing in real time, anything we're playing right now, which is something that I absolutely do want to continue to do. And if you subscribe and follow on both, that is the easiest way to stay up to date with your notifications on. That is the way to be one of the first people involved and one of the people in the chat before anyone else, feel free to comment first. We will give you a shout out if we do see that, or we will do our best to. Sometimes I mess up. I'm sorry. But either way, thank you for joining me for the entire BioShock Remaster playthrough, and thank you for joining me for this museum part. It means the world to me, and it means the world to my team. Thank you.